It's me, your girlfriend's or boyfriend's or their friend's favorite content creator. And now, I'm not one to repeat myself, but I guess sometimes you need to. Consulting companies do not have the power to change entire productions or close studios or do any of the weird things you heard people recently talking about. Now, let's get some other shit just out of the way. Yes, I'm going to read to you an article from Kotaku. Yes, I could already see the comments because I am Joseph Joestar. Your next line would be, Kotaku, aren't they the ones who do X woke thing? Here's the issue with all of this, okay? This is very dumb. People are going to be like, it's not about us being anti-diversity, even though if you look in the comment section of any post talking about this or any of my last couple of videos, you would see that is exactly what they're targeting. One person was even so nicely to just sum it up for me and say that our era is over. What the fuck does that mean? The era of diversity is over. We're divesting from diversity. So this is absolutely about diversity. It is why they say shit like, look, I can tell pronouns in bio detected, opinion irrelevant. Like, all of that is dog whistle shit to be anti-diversity, no matter how you slice it. Look at the groups that are quote unquote doing this because they're just mad because a couple of people from Sweet Baby were targeting a Steam curator, and they won't even analyze that further. What was said creator doing? And they're going to just lie and say, oh, well, he was just simply warning people that games that Sweet Baby were involved in. Why? Is Sweet Baby like De Nouveau where they slow down the games or anything? No, they're a consulting company that pushes for inclusion and diversity. And that's a bad woke ideology, and wokeness is taking over video games, and they're the forefront to stop it. That is all that is. That is all that's ever been. There is no other way to look at it. Because what are you really trying to say? Because a random curator you guys had no idea about was being harassed and targeted, which isn't even true. Like, the person on Twitter has like 15,000 followers, if that, and not everyone suddenly is going to go report that thing and get them canceled. They actually have more members now than ever. So that's not the case. They're not being harassed. They're not being targeted. It's just another smokescreen to do what happened in Gamergate, which is just trying to push people who they don't want in gaming out. Simple as that. It's literally that simple. But now, because that'd only be a 2-minute video and there's some more depth to this, we're going to go over the Kotaku article. You guys ready? No? Are you ready now? Still no. Oh, look, I'm going to do it anyways. And then whenever you're ready, you just keep pushing play. Okay. All right. So here's the Kotaku article by Alyssa Mercante. I hope I said your name right. And basically what she did was she went into the Discord. She snuck into their Discord, to the Steam group dedicated to detecting games, which is Sweet Baby Inc. Detected. And Sweet Baby Inc., like I said before, is just you know the spiel. You guys have seen my other videos. You know what this is about. So let's just scroll down to a couple of key points that are really going to highlight it. Like, case in point here. The prevailing theory is that if it weren't Sweet Baby, Saga Anderson would not have been portrayed, would have been portrayed by a white woman. Is that true? Well, it's impossible to say, but does it matter? Melanie Liber did a great job in that role. She did. She fucking crushed it. But the game director was like, that is not true. This already disproves 99% of what the people who are pro Sweet Baby Inc. Detected say, that these consulting companies create characters wholesale and force them to be put in these games, which literally makes no sense, because if you know anything about a consulting firm or agency, you know that they are a project by project basis. They are not senior advisors. They don't have a long-standing relationship with any particular company. They are hired on for their advice, and then it's up to the company to decide to implement it or not. That's it. But anyways, let's just keep on going. So on March 5th, the writer managed to go into the Discord, and in it, the members shared posts referring to Feminist Frequency founder Anita Sarkeesian, Marcus Aurelius quotes, and pictures of highlights from most bodies in games. One image showed several pictures of protagonist Eve from Korean developer Shift Up's upcoming game, Stellar Blade, juxtaposed against female characters such as people from Overwatch, Spoken, and Life is Strange. Embrace tradition, reject modernity. Right there. This picture right here. This was what was in it. So you already know what kind of timing they're on, right? And then here's a quote here. Almost 2,000 members. There are already a bunch of infiltrated people here screenshotting everything. Sadly, so just keep it cool, brothers. We can't let this server or the Steam group get taken down. That's all I ask, keep it cool. A post from March 4th, which was shared again on March 5th. Several people in Discord expressed concerns about glowies, a term coined by members of the far right for those suspected of being federal law enforcement agents or their informants attempting to infiltrate their online spaces and set them up for legal consequences. So you can already see where this is heading towards, right? You can already see what kind of people are in this Discord. 2 members that spoke with me via Discord DM shared similar sentiments about why they believe the Steam page and subsequent Discord are important, so they can identify games that were developed with the support from Sweet Baby Inc. and make an informed decision when purchasing them. Sweet Baby Inc. is a symptom of other ideological worldviews that I believe have taken hold of the Western world, media, and gaming as a whole, a 31-year-old member of the Discord told me. He also insisted, without providing evidence, that Sweet Baby Inc. adds race and identity group quotas to everything they're involved with. Just whole cloth made that shit up and just believes it because that's how they operate. Nothing has to be true. They see someone who might possibly not be a straight white person, they lose their shit. And here's the more important part here. Let's talk about how they work, okay? Though these kinds of social media posts argue that companies like Sweet Baby Inc. somehow force game studios to include diverse characters and storylines, the reality is vastly different. Sweet Baby Inc. is a narrative design company, meaning most of its work is focused on writing stories and dialogue. They are not a DEI consultancy firm, which means they ensure a game's plot point makes logical sense and are satisfying to players, and that characters speak and behave in consistent ways. Narrative designers may also provide a final round of polish like a Hollywood script doctor. For example, the team worked on Suicide Squad long after the story was written, and even then they joined just to write in-game ads, audio logs, and NPC barks. So they didn't even do the fucking dialogue you guys are complaining about. They did in-game ads and audio logs. That's it. That is it. That's it. That's all I did. And here she returns back to the Discord DM and tells them what they actually do. And the response was, with all due respect, it really just seems like the same thing to me, but just a bit more hands-on the writing process. The end goal is to insert DEI type stuff into the project they're working on. Even though this would be the opposite, they'd be less hands-on because they only show up very, very end instead of, in the beginning. Like there's actually more images from the Discord to really lay in what kind of people are in there. If I can find them, I will post them in this video. But the main point here is like the same point I've been making. There is no consulting agency because, again, by definition, they are there to consult. They cannot enforce anything. They're not even part of the company. They are an outside force that companies for years have been going to for advice in multiple industries. Imagine if you were watching Interstellar and they talk about how they consulted people like Neil deGrasse Tyson and other physicists and astrophysicists. You wouldn't then go, oh, Neil deGrasse Tyson forced them to have a black character in that movie. He forced them to have black people in that movie. This person forced them to have women in that movie. No, they are there for their particular expertise. That is it. They asked him, hey, theoretically, what would the inside of a black hole look like? And then he just gave him his best estimation. That's what consultants do. They take their own specified knowledge and help others reach their goal or give them the advice that they, think is best. I cannot make that more clear. Go to any consulting agency and see what power they have. They can be fired. I hope you understand that. Consulting agencies can be fired. It's like at will, basically. They consult you for maybe like a month or two if they need you, and then they can just boop, be done. And again, they don't have to take your advice. This idea that they are basically holding developers at gunpoint and saying, if you don't put X character in here, I'm gonna annihilate your family is crazy to me. You have game companies that are big budget AAA games that put hundreds of millions of dollars into products. Do you really think they would let some small narrative design company influence how they operate? to affect their bottom line? No. But like I've stated in other videos, the people who are so anti-SBI, which is Sweet Baby Inc., it has nothing to do with Sweet Baby Inc. and everything to do with their perceived feeling of being attacked by woke ideologies. That's all it's ever been. That's it. This is the last time I'm talking about it, because this doesn't need to be talked about any further. Any other comments they're going to make, even including this comment section, are just going to be the same repetitive things. They're going to bring up that, oh, but the CEO 5 years ago was giving a pitch meeting at GDC and said to really just go for it. And they're going to call it harassment and terrorism because someone literally called it that. When it's just someone talking about pitching, like pitching things. Be insane when you pitch. Believe in your pitch. Keep pitching. They're going to make everything out to be the most insane attack on people ever when it's nothing like that. And to those people, I get to finally say the old gamer adage. You would have never survived the Call of Duty lobbies. Would never survive the Xbox 360 days, the lobbies. You guys would never survive. Snowflakes. Absolute snowflakes. Oh, Christ.